Okay, so there are a few announcements to make. The first announcement is that make sure you always submit the right assignment at the right position. I cannot just take on emails saying that you submitted the wrong assignment. Okay, so make sure you submit the assignments very carefully. There are multiple. I'm not even if you make a mistake, you can go back there and remove the old file and make a new submission. Okay, but do it before time. From next week onwards, I will not accept any assignment which is uploaded in a wrong way. Is this clear? Okay. So let's start today's lecture. Today is lecture number 5. Okay. I don't know why it's slow. Can you see the slide? Okay. So today we are going to finish chapter number 2 and start chapter number 3. Okay. So in this topic, we're going to talk about the type conversions and roundings. Okay. Actually, give me a second. I need to show you the program as well. So let me open the Python as well. Okay. So type conversion is like I told you already an example for type conversion where we used eval function to convert the strings into numeric. So that is also a kind of eval function is also a type converter. Here we use integer function to convert the type, like let's say if we have defined a variable value which is value of 5.6, and if we pass this value through a function integer, it only returns the 5. Okay. Similarly, there is Similarly, we can use a round function to round a number to the nearest whole number. Like if we have defined a value 5.6, and if I use a function round, it returns 6 because 6 is the nearest integer, nearest whole number to 5.6. So here I have told you guys how to do type conversion and rounding. Is there any question in that? Also, we had already used eval as a type converter. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Can you record the session, please?
Yeah, it is being recorded now.
Thank you.
Okay. So now let's do one case study. It is quite an interesting case study, and this is also going to be your assignment number 4. So you need to listen to this very carefully in Greenwich Mean Time format, which is hours and seconds. And here I have an example for the time. Okay, so we need to write a program that displays in the GMT format. Okay, so for that we are going to use a time function that is defined in a time module. Now let me tell you what module is. So let me take something out. Yes, carry on. The sound is cut. Actually, and the room is completely, closed. Is it better now? Okay. So yes. So when I say module, what do I mean by that? Module is like, let's say we have a time module. What is wrong with this? Let's say we have a time module. Okay, I think there is some problem with the internet here. Anyways, module is like a package which contains many functions. Okay, and so in time module we have various functions, and we are going to use a function time in time module. So we'll move on and see how it works. By the way, can you hear me properly now? Okay, so let's see how are we going to write this program. So the program is that we need to get the current time and then present that time in the GMT format. Now what happens is that Python is going to take a time from a time function. So the first time here, this is the module name, and in that module we have this function. Okay, so this is module name, and this is the function in that module. We have many other functions in the module time, but we are going to use the function time in time module. Okay, now what it does is it returns the seconds with a millisecond precision since the Unix epoch. Now what do I mean by Unix epoch? Unix epoch is this time, because Unix was officially launched on the 1st January 1970 midnight. Okay, the Unix operating system was officially launched on the 1st January 1970 midnight. So this is the start time when the Unix was launched formally, officially, and therefore they use this time to represent the Unix epoch. Okay, like so this time when the Unix was first started is called Unix epoch. Now this is our now it's 1970 now. Now it's 2021. And we want to have the current time. So we are here now. So when we use time.time function, it returns this time in seconds, with millisecond precision. Like if you use time.time now on your IDLE, you will get something like this, okay? Which has two parts. The part which is before the decimal is the number of seconds since the Unix was launched, and this is the millisecond, okay? The number that is after the decimal. So would you open your IDLE and see? So you have to do a few things, okay? So if you open your IDLE and do this, let me write code here. And I suggest you guys to actually, fight out just now on your IDLE. So do this import on the prompt, say import. Let me do it here. On the prompt, say import time. What this does is it imports a time module, okay? And then do this. Print time. Why is this not writing properly? I don't know. Do print time.time function and see what you get on your IDLE. So everybody please try it out and show me and write the output on the message. So open your IDLEs, write these two commands and see what you get, and write your output on the message window. Yes, Eamon has got the right output. Eamon, would you like to share the line of codes that you wrote on your IDLE so Budar can also see? Yeah, okay. Okay, the thing is my internet is a bit weak. I'll try. Let me see. Share the application. Share the application window. Look at this now. Can you see now? So so what happens is when you import time, you are importing import means that I'm going to import a time module and then I'm going to use some functions from that module. And the function that I've used from the module time is time. Everybody got it? Is there any question? So everybody understood what I'm saying here? Is there any question? I didn't get it. Okay. So what happens is that when you press time.time function, when you write this time.time function, you get the number of seconds that has elapsed since this date. So the number of seconds since the Unix was formally launched till today is what is displayed after you present time.time function. Okay. Like the number of seconds just now is this. These are the number of seconds with a precision of milliseconds. So this is the number. This is the number of seconds before the decimal that have elapsed, that have passed since the launch of Unix in 1st January 1970 midnight. Okay. So let's do something else. Unix is an operating system. Like we have Windows, Mac. Unix is also an operating system. Okay. So now if I do this command again, time.time, you will see there's a difference in the last part because there are a few number of seconds that have passed since I presented this command. You understanding the point? Is it clear? So what this command does is time function in the time module, it tells you the number of seconds that has passed since the Unix was launched. Okay, if I open this slide again, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, any question in this now? Do you all understand this time.time function? Guys, do you all understand this time.time function? Okay, now, so what? So let's revise what I've just said now. The time function is in the time module returns the current time in second with millisecond precision elapsed since the midnight of January 1st, 1970 in GMT. Okay, this time is known as the Unix epoch. This time is known as the Unix epoch, which is the time when the Unix was officially launched. The epoch is the time when the point when the time starts, and 1970 was the year when Unix was formally introduced. So what I expect from you in the assignment number 4 in English with mathematics. Okay, so you need to explain what this code is doing. I'll show you the code, and there's one change in the listing 2.7 that you have to make, that you will explain the code taking the current time as your student ID. Okay, like you should take current time as your ID. Now let me show you what I mean. What I mean is, okay, let me open the application. All right. So let me show you the code here. Yes. So let's share the application, this and this. Can you see the screen? Can you see the book page on the screen? Yeah, it will take about 1 second, 2 seconds. It should appear. It should appear. Just give it a second. Why is it taking so long? So you can see the screen now. Yes. So here they import time first, and then the current time is a time.time function. Okay. This line. This line. You know. Wow. Where is the pen? Yes. This line. Okay. So it says current time is time.time. This is going to return the current time. Now you have to explain the working of this code by not using time.time but your roll number here. Okay, like if your student ID is 23847, then the current time is 23847. Okay, you all understand it? And then you have to what is the question? You know, you need to tell me the question. What is the difficulty? Just don't use time.time here. Yeah, don't use time.time. Just say current time is equal to your student ID. If your student ID is 13547, then your current time equals to 13547. That's it. What's the benefit of it is that everybody will have a different solution. Okay, because everybody has a different roll number or student ID. Okay, you all understand it? Yeah, and what I'm trying to say is that your current time, don't use time.time function, but use current time equals to your student ID, which could be 13758. Okay, and then okay, let me write it. So what I'm saying is this. Where is it? What I'm saying is this, that your current time is your 134581. Okay, whatever is your roll number is the current time. Okay, you understand this? And then your job is to think of this current time. Now listen carefully. Think of this current time as seconds. So think of this current time as seconds. Your word this seconds. So you need to determine the date that corresponds to your student ID. Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum, doctor. Your voice was cut.
Walaikum salam. Okay. Yeah, but the internet is good, mashallah. You know, the internet is perfect here. So, yeah, I mean, let me get back to the slides and I will explain you the assignment that you have to do. So this is your assignment number 4, that you will replace the current time with your student ID, okay? And think of it as the number of seconds that has passed since 1970. So if I go back here, so this time, so let's imagine that you get this as a 18347, okay, and then your job, this is seconds, and then your job is to convert it into the time in GMT format. Okay, don't use this thing, use current time as your student ID and then convert these seconds into the GMT format. Okay, so you need to explain the code. Okay, you need to explain the code every step using English and maths. Okay, is it clear? And no marks if you don't take your student ID as a current time variable. Like if you don't take this thing as your student ID but something else, then I will give you 0 marks. Okay, this is to avoid cheating, because I have marked assignments and there's a lot of cheating in the assignment and I don't like it at all. Is there any question regarding the assignment? So guys, is there any question regarding the assignment? No question. Do you all understand the question in the assignment? How do we explain it? Yeah, you will explain me if you go to the listing 2.7, then there is a code over there. You do few steps. You have to explain every line. What is this line doing? What is the next line doing? And what is the next line the code is doing? So it's like explaining the code that is already available on the listing 2.7. Okay, look at this. I mean, not in the Python, you have to submit a PDF file. You write, you explain it. So you have one line of code, and then below the line, you explain me what is this doing. And then you have line 2 of a code, and then you explain what is this doing. And you do it all on the Word, okay, and make a PDF file. Okay, yes. Okay, so the code is in the listing 2.7 of the book. Yes, you have to make a file and submit the PDF file, because PDF is easy to upload. Don't upload image file, okay? They're very bad. And anything else? But ensure, what about obviously you will make the file on the Word, and then from the Word you convert it into PDF. Look at this, I've tried it over here as well. So this is make sure this is listing 2.7, and in the listing 2.7, the current time is your student number or student ID. By the way, what do you call it? Student ID, roll number, registration number, what do you call this number? Student ID, okay. So any question regarding the assignment number 4? And make sure that you submit the right file, because from now onwards, if you submit a wrong file, you should not expect a leniency from me, because there are going to be a lot of assignments and I cannot keep record of your mistakes. I'm getting many messages that people submitted a wrong file, I don't know, Why would that happen? Because I'm not doing single submission. You can submit many files as well. So I will count the last file. Okay. There's always option of multiple submissions. So you do multiple submissions and I will only count the last file. So if you make a mistake, submit the right file afterwards and I will count the last file. Okay, but do it before the time, and it's always good to check what you have submitted after you submit it. Anyways, now that was the end of chapter number 2. Now let's start chapter number 3. Chapter number 3, we start off by using some common Python functions like absolute ABS. So if I do ABS of -2 in Python, I will get 2. What I mean by that is absolute of -2 is 2. Okay. Similarly, there's another function by the name of max in the Python. If you do max x1, x2, anything, it will return the maximum number. Okay. And there's also a function min, and if you do min in a series of numbers, it will return the minimum number. So, and then there's also a function power, POW. Someone was asking this question a few days ago. So there's a function called power, POW, A and B. It returns this, and it's the same as this thing. Remember, somebody was asking this question if you can do this thing in a different way. That is another way of doing this thing. So power of 2 power 3 is like 2 power 3 is going to return A. This is how you write power to power 3. And the round, we already discussed it. And if you do round x like this, round 5.4, it will round to the nearest integer, okay. But if you do round n, like round the number to a 2 decimal places, it will return the round to the 2 decimal places. Is it clear? Or do you want me to do it on the Python? Okay, let's do it on the Python. So let's see. Is it possible to open another attempt in safety because I want to amend the third? I'm saying from now onwards, I will not open anything. So if you have any problem till as of now, just email me. Don't WhatsApp me private. Okay, I will not read your private message on the WhatsApp. If you have any problem, which is individual problem, then you can consult me on the email. If you have a problem which relates to some problem in the code, then you can put it on the group, the WhatsApp group. So Talal, as of now, just email me the problem and I will see it. Don't WhatsApp me privately and don't make this mistake again. Okay. Anyways, come to the lectures later. So let's see. So if I do max of 1, 3.4, and 6, I will get 6 answers. Okay, simple as that. There's no problem in it. And if I do absolute of minus 10.1, I'll get 10.1. Okay, is it clear? The max and the absolute. So now let's see the next things. Okay, let's see the next part. Okay, now these are all the functions that are defined in a Python interpreter. Okay, they're already available in the Python interpreter. But then there are some functions which you need to import. If you want to use a mathematics function, you need to import the math module. Okay, like if you want to use these functions, you first need to import the math module. And how do you do it? You say import math, okay? And then you can use those functions, this function and the next function, okay? So the first function is, it returns the absolute value of x as a float. So if you do float absolute, okay, -2, you get 2.0. And then there are two more important functions, which is one is called ceiling and another is called float. This is a ceiling and this is a float. What ceiling does is it rounds to the nearest integer, okay, on the upper side, okay, and the float rounds the number to the lower side of, okay. Think of it like that. So you have a 3, 2, so you have a 2.1. The ceiling is 3, the floor is 2, okay. If you do floor 2.1, you get 2, and if you do ceiling 2.1, you'll get 3, okay. Makes sense? Is it clear? And then there is also a mathematical function, the function exponential. I think somebody was asking this in the last week, that how can we have an exponential of x? So you can have an exponential of x in this form. So this is exp1. If you want to do exponential of 2, you do exp2, okay? And to get the natural log, you use log x. So log x returns the natural log. But if you have not a natural log, but a different base, then you do log x base. And the base could be 2, it could be 10, it could be it could be anything, okay. And the last thing is square root. So square root is a function in a mathematical module which returns the square root of a number. Is this clear, or do you want me to do an example for it? Okay, now let's do the last slide before we end the lecture. And then there is a function sine in the math module. It returns the sine of x. So if you want to do sine of pi by this is pi, okay. Pi by 2 is 1. and sine of pi is 0. And then for inverse of a sine, like sine inverse, we have something called arc sine, a sine. A sine is arc sine, okay? And then we have the cos function and arc cos, a tan. And then to convert the angle from radian, okay, these will always return the answer in radians, okay? And if you want to convert the radians into degrees, you use this function. And if you want to convert a degree into radians, you use this function, okay? And all these functions are defined in a math module. So if you don't import the math module, this will not work. So let's see one example. Okay, let's see one example. So I have not imported a math module. So let's see if I can find a sine of sine of pi. Okay, so the pi is okay. Sine of, let's say, 3.14. Okay, the sine is not defined. You get an error. The sine is not defined. So I have to import the math module first, and now I can use sine. So what is this? Yeah, this is not right. Let me see the problem here. Math dot. Okay, you cannot see the screen. Math dot sine 3.14. Yes. Okay. So by the way, I should try it on the file here. So let me close this and open the Python again, and then I will show you how it works. So this is my Python, and if I open a file, let me open a file and stop sharing. Share the complete screen actually. Okay. So now if I say a equals to sine of 3.14, and I say print a, and if I save this file, it will give an error. Why? Because sine is not defined. Can you see the error? Now, if I go back in the file and import math, let's see what happens, and do math.sine, and we are going to get the sine value. Okay, you can see both of these together on the same file paper now. Do you all understand this now? Do you all understand this? Okay. Similarly, you cannot unless you call you call the you need to import the module first. Without importing the module, the functions in the module are not going to work. Okay. And next class we'll try to solve this problem. We could not do it today because of the shortage of time. Inshallah, when we meet next week, we'll use it's not so in the next week, inshallah, we'll solve this the last problem in the code. Sorry, the last two slides. Okay. Yes, Suhaib.
Doctor, regarding to assignment 4, so we only have to convert from seconds to the GMT format, right? And explain what we have to, what we're doing, right?
Yes.
So that's it.
That's it. It's a very simple thing. It's only 20 minutes assignment.
Okay, thank you.
By the way, Talal, there's always an option for multiple attempts. So I don't know why you're saying this. Why should I open the attempt again? Time has passed, Until the due date, you can do multiple attempts, can't you? Let me check. There's always an option for multiple attempts. You can do multiple attempts. I'm going to open assignment number 4, and I'm going to see if I have allowed you for multiple attempts. Okay, Okay, I'm going to do multiple attempts. I think there's a problem here. So, okay. So, yes, I think, yeah. Okay, from now onwards, I will give you 3 attempts, okay? For assignment 3, let me open assignment 3, and let me make 3 attempts. And I'm going to give you... By the way, the assignment number 3 is open till 10 p.m. tonight. So now you can make assignment 3 submission till tonight. You have 3 attempts to make, okay? Let me do it for the different section, another section as well. Oh, anything else now? So from now onwards, I will give you 3 attempts, okay? Because yes, you're right. Sometimes we make mistakes, And it's always assignment number 4. So for assignment number 4, we'll also have multiple attempt, 3 attempts. Assignment number 3 is due tonight, okay? Anything else? Yes, Talal, you can check it now. It should be working now. Now you have 3 attempts, and please, try to submit the right file. Okay then, guys. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.